least we can say Alufal didn't beg for it. Melody was asking to get killed over and over again by the fact that he presented himself on a silver platter. But Alufal, yeah, not as crazy balls bananas like
Alright, CE. You got another 100% win rate map. This might be your last one left, because you've lost on Braxis recently as well.
Yeah.
You can do it. Just keep something.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty tense now. I never thought this series would get this tight. But here we are, standing on Cursed Hollow. What we're gonna see, it's a good Stitches map, Tetra.
It's a very good Stitches map. There's lots of horseshoes and lovely points with the extra SAM radius. You can get some really good harassment going. You got plenty of options there.
Plenty of options indeed. Well, probably won't come with a big surprise that we're probably gonna see a Tassadar removal. Yay! Nothing new here.
Yeah, this is as standard can get, really. There's not a huge amount to be done there. So, we are seeing a Uther as first pick. Once again, standard as standard can be. So I would like to see Lunara in the first two picks. They go with Valor again, though.
I like it. I love that first pick Brightwing. With any other team, I would have been like, yeah, I'm not really sure if that's worth it. But with 365 continuously surprising and convincing us on that hero, I think it's a legit route to build your team comp. This time around, they won't have Uther though, so the insane protection provided by Divine Shield, the Guardian of the Ancient Kings, and the Cleanse by Brightwing is no longer going to be able to be executed. However, there's plenty of other good burst heroes available. They could go for Morales maybe, they could go for the likes of Rhaegar. I don't think it really cripples the approach by HotsLady, the fact that Uther is no longer available.
No, I think they're still in pretty decent position to do the same composition. CE, though, they are just stepping it up and just saying, alright, old-fashioned time. They go with Tyrael and they go with Genji.
Yep, Abathur no longer in the mix. Of course, a copied Genji is very frightening, very dangerous. But also in other heroes, the synergy or the support capabilities that Abathur can bestow is very frightening, very dangerous indeed. Why would you ban that Lucio?
Interesting question. It's like the Lucio is clearly prioritized up there. Whether we agree with it or not, it's clearly prioritized.
The Rhaegar makes a little bit more sense, I feel. I mean, a big argument in favor of Lucio, of course, is the movement speed. That could prove to be a little bit of a problem, even for Genji, when all of a sudden targets are no longer within his grasp. However, I think overall, the better performing support is Rhaegar. He also has a couple of good life-saving tools. Karazin, maybe. I mean, maybe.
You say better performing support, considering Rhaegar has a 50% or just under 50% win rate, whereas Lucio is currently 1-9 yes. In terms of win rates. He has one win in 10 games.
I mean, I don't want to put too much emphasis on this kind of drafting behavior, but it really shows that they're not decisive. It really shows that there seem to be a couple of issues when it comes to drafting for CE, that they don't really have a good read on their opponents. They might not have the cohesion of saying, okay, you know what, we're gonna ban that guy. No, it's Karazim. No, let's go ETC. Maybe Rhaegar? They don't seem to be very convinced of their approach. Maybe it's just me, but I think...
Well, no, I think you might be right. What's really stopping HotsLady from just taking the Stitches again? Like, yeah, everyone they can hook this time is much more survivable. It's a much better composition for actually being hooked. But they all still blow up the same if they're CC'd.
Definitely true. And keep in mind that Brightwing, once again, does have that isolation potential available. And even if they don't want to go for that blow-up style, that pick after hooking someone, they can still go Putrid Bowel. Fantastic value. They can even go Lunara now against Uther. Just do it. Arthas Lunara.
Arthas Lunara, bigger Stitches Lunara. They go for Rhaegar, they end up picking it anyway, and they go for Muradin. So HotsLady playing potentially a little bit too standard for my personal liking. But it's all survivability.
Speaking of Stitches and the Gorge Tetcher, just like against Malthael last game, they could have easily gorged Dragonblade Genji, as long as he's not Divine Shielded.
Yeah, exactly. That's another excellent point there. Which, to be fair, with this comp that you have, it's clearly built around potentially Divine Shielding that Genji or something like that. So, not too surprising. They might have just ignored it, but either way, now they just don't have to Divine Shield the Genji, and they can Divine Shield whoever they want. So, yeah, It's iffy. They could still go for Stitches. There's not a huge amount stopping them other than potential lack of damage, but Valor should be able to deal with that.
Let's see how efficient that Vala is going to be. It's not the traditional double support to keep her safe and sound. It's not like, you know, they have the split-second save button, like a Plasma Shield by Tassadar, like a Divine Shield or a Divine Palm. All the protection they can offer takes a little bit of time. Like Brightwing's ticks take a little bit of time. The Ancestral takes a little bit of time. But that is a big statement of confidence here. Going for the Illidan and the Genji. Going dive galore against Brightwing and Emerald Wind. And you know what? That Zeratul seemed to be working like a charm. Why not go for it again?
Yeah, HotsLady doing their very best RPG impression here with the Zeratul coming in as their final pick for a second time. They don't really have the same amount of isolation style though. They don't have the Stitches hook. The Muradin just seems weird to me when you have the exact same tools as last time, which you already know work.
Ironically though, it's actually not nearly as bad as it would have been against other heroes, because Illidan still struggles from the attack speed slow, from the abundance of crowd control that Muradin in general brings to the table. So, ironically, CE kind of did them a little bit of a favor, but we have a lot of lockdown, a lot of engage coming in from CE. I do not know if that's going to be the right recipe to success, judging from the fact that, once again, 365 on his Brightwing is going to tear things apart. The moment Illidan goes for the hunt, the moment Genji goes in with a Swift Strike, they might find themselves isolated, polymorphed, and taken down.
Very true. We've seen how often that Brightwing can just shut down anyone who engages, ETCs, Genjis, anyone who could be an option here. So we'll see if that's able to duplicate itself, or whether that Genji is just going to get resets galore, and we're going to see the return of the Cybernetic Ninja.
Infinity, of course, is a fantastic Genji player, don't get me wrong. He's been proving this many times in the past, and they really need everyone to perform their A game. They cannot afford to let their guard down again, otherwise they open themselves up to be overtaken by BTG at some point. Keep in mind, CE is not guaranteed to come at BlizzCon. It's a still very close range, or very close race, excuse me, at the tippity top of the table. But we're going to find out what's going to happen here in Game 2, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for CE and HotsLady. And the favorite is struggling right now. CE behind 0-1 against HotsLady, and they're being represented by a Lufol on that Uther. Win plays Serial this time. KTY on the Genji, Paradise on Illidan, and Zuyu going for the Greymane after all.
Whereas on the right-hand side, it is going to be HotsLady 1-0 up, with 365 on the Brightwing, again on the Rhaegar, Feed B on Valor, Kid again on that Zeratul, and Carlo playing Muradin.
Hey, this is going to be very interesting. We see the Pixie Charm, by the way, the bribe being deployed. We've seen this plenty of times in the past already, and it's very useful if you don't have a dedicated mercenaire, as Tetra would say, or mercenarier. Then these Pixie Charms
to say, basically.
can be really useful. Now, in the meantime, Kid is scouting this one out. Needs to be careful. Blinks to safety over the wall. But still, that doesn't change the fact that he is going ham on that top lane. Investing 4 people to really do it. And with the Greymane Worgen attacks, they can chunk down those buildings very quickly. Alufal doing a good job soaking up those tower shots, preventing the damage on to someone like Illidan or Greymane. But they need to be careful. They are kind of neglecting the bottom lane entirely.
Yeah, they can't stop, won't stop, and the difference is, though, 4 people generally push faster than 2, so as such, they are getting significant value up here. This is going to be a level 1 fort, or level 2, it's going to be close whether they will actually level up first. They level up before the fort goes down. It was close, but they do get the fort, and now they rotate to lanes. This was not their boss lane, which is why I expect they felt confident enough to do this, but either way, that is some XP.
That was a cool mind game here being played by CE. I mean, they lost a little bit of XP in the bottom here because they didn't soak those waves at all, which is actually the reason why HotsLady came out on top in terms of overall XP, but they played a successful mind game. They realized, hey, normally teams expect us to push S4 in the boss lane, right? Because of the obvious benefits you gain from it. But they went for the anti-boss lane, if you will, and nobody expected it. HotsLady was totally caught off guard, and that board is now no longer a case.
And we see him in a very large scuffle in the mid lane for not a huge amount of reasoning. Uther has already gone down. Carlo very nearly dropped, but was able to survive. But that makes it currently 1 fort for 1 kill. XP stays actually relatively even. C stays a little ahead.
Alright, Illidan, near the 2-minute mark, is already bringing himself into a position to do this Siegeshine camp, getting reinforced and supported by Greymane to clear it even faster. Not sure if that's needed, but there's nothing to be done from Greymane on the map anyway, otherwise. Now, KTY should be safe, Swift Strike to safety, easy peasy. In the meantime, Rhaegar a little bit too late to the party. Let's hope he gets the Siegeshine camp in time, but he's starting off a little bit late.
He is, in fact, starting a little late. Shouldn't have too much trouble finishing it in time, but the fact is he's still going to take a little health damage. Might have to use a fountain before he comes to an objective, in theory. Or he shouldn't really have time to be... Yeah, he's just going to run up. He's actually really healthy. He did that really well. Alright,
that was just a massive thunder going on here at my place, so send me some energy and keep your fingers crossed, guys, that no lightning is going to hit my house. That would be very unfortunate, but back to the game here. Paradise on the tribute, no contestation at all. In the meantime, though, the mercenary camp that arrives so late in the bottom is not going to get that much value because it came so late. Now, C has all the time to rotate and really deal with it.
Yep, they can rotate and clear it up very quickly with the tribute already under their command. They have no issue just dealing with that as quick as possible. They are taking a while to rotate, though. We thought it would take them no time at all, but they faffed around in the jungle for a little bit, and as such, that fort did take a little bit of damage.
Exactly. CE stabilizing, doing pretty well, saving that bottom fort. I like it. Now, Illidan already going for that bruiser camp. So is HotsLady, though. That first tribute didn't really matter too much. It's all about getting those future ones. We see the unstable anomaly once again by Brightwing, dealing a little bit more AoE damage, especially in those clumped up team fights where there's a lot of melee heroes like Illidan, Uther, Greymane all clumping up together. That can actually give a surprising amount of value.
It really could, and right now they're looking to begin with that clump up, CE at least, by positioning a lot more aggressively for the tribute, and they pick it up. That's 2 down already, due to the fact that HotsLady decided, now we don't want it. They're going to try and get a boss. We are seeing CE on the way up there. Genji will be able to scout this. They know. And we see the immediate retreat. It's down to half health. KTY keeping it aggroed. Do they want to try and steal it? No, they don't want to take the risk. They've forced the leash. Kid is not going to restart it. They forced the full leash, so that's fine. They've done their job.
It's very tempting. Oh my goodness, KTY actually spotted the Zertul with a spot on Swift Strike. But it's very tempting to sometimes just keep the boss aggroed and maybe go in, you know, poke it down a little bit. But I love the patience by CE. They are no need to really contest anything, to really risk anything, because they're all banking in for that next tribute, which could be curse point for them.
Indeed, they are waiting it out. They don't need to all in for anything. They're already very ahead. It is unfortunately on a HotsLady side of the map. 365 trying to gain a
good position though.
Some global. He does get them level 8 first, but that's not a talent.
They're definitely controlling this choke point here, making it very hard for HotsLady to really walk in. So Muradin is going to be more important than ever. He really needs to draw a lot of attention onto himself, and he's successfully doing it. So dealing so much damage and allowing his backline to poke from far, from a safe distance. Well played by Carlo once again.
Win trying to interrupt 365 there, but the smite out of range. Good positioning by Brightwing, and as such, HotsLady pick up this tribute. See, you don't lose any members from it, but they would have really liked that curse. That is unfortunate. However, this means likely that the next curse will be a level 10 curse if they're able to get it, the next tribute.
And as such, the call for HotsLady is so good. They realized, you know what? That last tribute was so close to our boss. We just defeated CE. We forced them back. All their health bars were so low, so they're no condition to even contest this boss. So they went for it, and now could maybe potentially even go for a double boss play. But either way, this boss is going to cause a lot of damage, a lot of distraction more importantly, and that could really buy them enough time to prevent this next tribute from being taken. Good mercenary camp as well. Man, HotsLady is just playing this map so well. They're all over the place.
They really are. They are just not in control, but they're certainly putting on a little bit more. They're certainly putting on a little bit more pressure. Now, there's bad news. This boss is about to kill the Fountain, which would have been in a lovely position, which would have mattered if, you know, HotsLady had actually tried to contest at all. So instead, it's going to be a curse and level 10 coming over to CE, and that is going to be some very bad news for HotsLady. They will have 10 as well very quickly, though. That boss got them a fair amount of XP. Hunt already used. Beautiful cleanse by Rhaegar.
Yeah, very good cleanse, really preventing any further damage from being done. By the way, speaking of cleanse, Brightwing did not go for cleanse this time. 365 decided to go for the teleport shield, which once again makes a lot of sense, especially when you want burst protection against the Illidan Hunt.
Illidan, not the only person who is hunting, as Kid is trying to chase down Wind here. Just dropping the damage. Wind is running out of place to retreat to, but here comes Genji.
Oh,
retreat behind that dude. You're against a Genji. And we do see Zeratul taken out by the Holy Radiance.
Yeah, a couple mistakes coming in here now for the HotsLady. Zeratul definitely wanted to bite off more than he could chew. The fact that they did this bottom camp caused them to arrive too late for the tribute. And guess what? CE is going to get great value out of this. All three forts are no longer standing, resulting in an entire level lead right now for CE. They're in full control. However, HotsLady, they can still come back. They are not defeated just yet.
Yeah, not defeated yet. See, moving back. They're just trying to be annoying. This is Genji's prime secondary objective. His primary objective is hit R, win game in team fights. His secondary objective is hit Q, be immensely annoying.
I thought his primary objective was spam I need healing.
That's the Overwatch primary objective. The Heroes of the Storm Genji is far more sophisticated.
There we go. I like that. I like that statement for sure. Quote of the day, right there. Heroes players are way more sophisticated than Overwatch players.
I never said that. Never said that. They're very even. All Blizzard players are equal. Do not listen to the lies. As we do see Wind move it up, harassing feed be a bit, dodging out the Hungry Arrow as well. Very nice. All
right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 13 coming up very soon here for CE, and 13 talents can be very crucial, can be important. Grayman could go for On the Prowl, giving him way more chasing capabilities on Carlo. He checked the wrong bush. Thank God there was only so much lockdown available, and the cleanse was on point by Rhaegar.
Wind just lives in this bush. He just does not care. He comes out of it, drops the harassment, and then just walks back into it. And they just walk past it as if he's not there anymore. KTY, though, actually getting chased down pretty aggressively. Carlo, he doesn't make it over the wall. Where's the dash? Divine Shield. Okay, that'll do. Oh. Amaroth, Emerald Wind is used to try and turn it around, but the Divine Shield was at least delayed. KTY being forced to retreat. Zeratul was not able to get the auto attack. Hunt on the Zeratul, who gets Ancestral, staying alive. And we are probably going to see CE. No, CE pick up another kill. If Zuyu can retreat out of this, it will be a 1-for-1. Zuyu gets out of there, and KTY has returned. And he's got resets, guys. He's able to pick up 2 kills in the form of Valor and Zeratul, probably the 2 best targets he could pick up here. Down goes Brightwing. Carlo, the only survivor with a super high health, but he will get taken out. CE taking a crisis and turning it into a win.
And it's a 5-man team wipe in favor of CE. They played that team fight so well. It started off very nicely for HotsLady, actually. Good effort by Kid, following the Genji with his Whirlpool Blade all over the place, but in the end, the Uther was there in time, casting the Divine Shield, the Dragon Blade reinitiation, beautifully done here. We see that replay once again. KTY almost caught, but in the nick of time, Lufel says, "You shall not die today, my friend." Yeah. The Sanctification kind of countered by the VP. Good Emerald Wind, but in the end, look at what happens now, Tetra.
We see the fact that KTY escaped, he gets straight to a fountain, and even though the Kid survived, the fact Genji got a fountain, he healing up, he found healing, he's returning, and with that Stormbolt missing onto Zuyu, it's what allowed him to drop enough damage for KTY to get those resets and take the fight in their favor. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I gotta say that KTY and Zuyu on those assassins made all the difference, while I'm still suffering from a lag, Tetra.
Refreshing too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to refresh here real quick.
While we're refreshing, thank you for understanding what I was doing and joining me on the pausing the casting during the Void Prism. As we do. Okay, I'm back at about 7. We see Wind getting stunned up a little bit here, while Kendrick makes sure he is synced up-ish?
Well, the video's running again. I'm just checking on my connection here. It's 6. I think we're gonna leave it as it is because there's a team fight to break out.
Dragon Blade is used and it gets huge damage out. Genji actually goes a little bit too far and gets Emerald Winded back. Good disengage. Paradise barely taking life. Divine Shield finally dropped, chasing down 365. No escape now, except maybe that one. Emerald Wind. It was not available. Sorry, it was the teleport he was trying to use. Carlo over the wall. No one could see him, so they can't chase him down. But they were able to get Brightwing and Valor. Still 2 kills to 0 in favor of CE in that fight. They're going to pick up a boss and the tribute. Not going to be a curse, but it's a one step closer.
Yeah, that was a very crucial team fight for CE to dominate. Very good. That boss is going to give them tons of value. That fort is no longer standing, and as such, it's going to threaten the keep right off the get-go. Not too many resources being used, though. The cooldowns are almost back to good here, only 50 seconds. I'm not really sure if they want to force the issue. They could, thanks to that 16 advantage, but they could as well just take all the other Merc camps and go for Curse Point with the next tribute. What are you sitting at right now, by the way?
I'm sitting at 7.
7 as well. Fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, you actually mentioned something there. Oh, okay, that's an interesting standing position. I can see. Oh, lag again.
Oh, not now. It always seems to be the CE games that are kind of affected by some technical difficulties here. I'm just going to refresh again.
Same.
Because that's an important moment you don't want to miss.
You said something earlier that reminded me. The player Good, who unfortunately does not play anymore. I was holding on to, if at any point someone had to retreat to Good, I was holding on to a music reference, giving a good old back for Good, or back to Good, but I never got the chance to use it, and now he doesn't play anymore. Either way, Paradise, I'm on 7 by the way. Hunt used, and down goes Zeratul, and Valor, and lag! Oh my god!
Trying to find out what's happening. I think it sounded like Genji slicing and dicing again.
Everything is what is happening.
Yeah,
they killed everyone. There we go.
They're the real lady killers in that game, unfortunately. Not good for HotsLady. Getting taken down over and over again. Genji and Illidan and Greymane are too much for the ladies to handle. The curse doesn't even matter. The core is falling anyway. Illidan on the core, out dancing it, and there's nothing the ladies could do. CE coming in furious, coming in with a determined point here. Super solid, 1 point. If only they could have done it in the first one. But as it is, a respectable performance by HotsLady, playing a spectacular first game. The second one, not so much.
Yeah, nicely done by HotsLady in the first game, but CE coming in angry and dominant in that second game. That does, however, make it a tie, bringing challenge up to 18 points, which is 4 points ahead of their next closest competitor beyond the game. Whereas HotsLady, they only move up to 7. They're still not even caught up with KT, and KT still have a game to play today. No, they're not. They've already played today, but they're still 1 point ahead.
Well, the League of 1-1s, it continues. It's crazy. And so many of those, like today when I woke up, you know, I took a look at the schedule. I was like, okay, let me just fix all my scenes, you know, get the logos in the right direction. I was setting up my OBS very nicely, and deep down inside I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be a very one-sided play day. You know, C is going to stomp the HotsLady's SPT. There's no way they're going to drop a map to KT, and even RPG is probably going to make it because they're looking so strong yesterday. And here we are. CE dropping the ball, SPT disappointing, and RPG playing like they usually do in this phase. What has happened, Tetra?
I don't know. I don't know at all, but either way, right now, not a huge amount is going to be changing in terms of the table. That's all we know. However, the next match we're going to have coming up, and the final one of the day, is going to be a quite important one. There's not it's going to be Beyond the Game versus Soa. It's not a chance for Soa to overtake Beyond the Game because they are 4 points behind. The maximum points they can get is 3, but it's certainly an opportunity to move closer. And right now, with only 1 week to go after today, Soa need all the points they can get, and Beyond the Game, they want to try and create some kind of gap.
Here's the crazy thing, guys. The next series between Soa and Beyond the Game is